Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm excited to bring you another episode in the Piste It Together series. I'm standing on top of the beautiful Treble Cone, New Zealand, here in Wanaka. And if you guys haven't seen the Piste It Together series before, what I do is I bring on my guest, today's Reilly, and we'll essentially talk about a topic to do with skiing, and then we'll go through, we'll explain like how we're thinking about it, what our takes on it are, and then we'll obviously show you guys how we're skiing based off the task that we set. So without any further ado, it is the wizard himself, the Grandmaster, Mr. Reilly McGlashan. Reilly, welcome.
Thanks for having me on, Josh.
Mate, it's an absolute pleasure. Stoked to get you onto the channel. What you're up to at the moment?
Here in New Zealand, working with the Rookie Academy. It's been really good. And I run a ski school in Hokkaido called Hokkaido Collective, and we're based out of Niseko and Rizutsu. And that's usually through December to February. And then the other times I'm working in Europe running private ski camps, and that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. It's been, yeah, a lot of fun the last few years, and I look forward to continuing on.
Yeah, man. If you guys are in Japan for the season, I'd highly recommend visiting Hokkaido Collective for your lessons. And then, as Reilly said, he has projected productions for any online tuitional or like learning around skiing, and then also projected camps in Europe. And yeah, the man's an inspiration to ski with. The goal for today's video with Reilly and myself is to kind of shed some light on the importance of understanding the gear that you're on and trying to find the ski that works for you. We're both skiing on Original Plus, which is a custom ski manufacturer out of Austria. Reilly was actually the guy that introduced me to Original Plus, and I did some testing when I was out in Italy. I got to ski on the 175 Mod 6X, and I got to ski on a GS ski that they had. And all of the skis that I tested were a little bit softer than what I, for my kind of weight and my ski style, would have liked. And so I ended up, this is my first ski with Original, I ended up kind of getting to that 380 number. And I absolutely love it, right? Like I love the way it flexes, I love the stiffness or the stability in it. And actually when Reilly and I were skiing up at Roundhill, something Reilly mentioned to me was like, man, you're really like snapping the ski around.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought it was super interesting, like you were saying, like that depicts for you visually like a skier that's on a ski that's the right flex.
Yeah.
Do you want to just kind of maybe explain a little bit about like what made you make that comment? Like what did you see from the...
Yeah, so when we were up doing some training up in Roundhill the other week, when you were coming down, what I really noticed is how much edge angle you were building, but at the exit of the turn, you were getting a lot of spring out of the turn and across the hill. And usually when I see that happening, it means that the flex is somewhat right. If the ski kind of just teeters off and you can see it wobbling, or someone's a bit unstable on the edge, then maybe it's a little bit soft. But also the same thing is if you see that the ski just like taking too much of a longer arc, and people are like really trying to muscle it, then it's probably a little bit too stiff.
Yeah.
So basically when I see somebody coming down and the ski's just whipping back and forth, then this is usually a good indication that the ski stiffness is right. And
it suits the kind of the level of the skier.
Yeah, because a lot of the testing that I've done, like I'm on quite a similar ski. I'm on the 175. It's the same model but in a 175, and it's a 16 meter, so 1 meter different radius. But when I've tested heaps and heaps of skis. So in this one, so I always get the same length to test different flexes, and also when we're testing different types of materials, new materials, just to see how they react. But the stiffness of the ski can actually influence like how tight the radius can be as well. So for me, when it gets too stiff, actually the radius always lengthens out a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
And when it actually gets a little bit too soft, then it becomes a little bit unstable and wobbles. So you're trying to find that zone where you can get the ski to just like arc really tight turns. You get a lot of snap and rebound out of it, but still stable.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that balancing act. So yeah, the flex can really influence the radius.
And so, right, like you said, you've done heaps of testing. It was since COVID, right, when you kind of linked up with Original?
Yeah, so like 5 seasons. Yeah, so basically my interest in Original when I first contacted them was I wanted to have a ski that I could rely on every season, because companies will often start changing the construction or the dimensions or different things that will change how the ski feels every year or how it skis every year. And one season I was getting a ski that I liked, and then they changed the materials in it or they changed the flex, and all of a sudden I don't like it anymore. And the inconsistency from season to season with the skis that I was getting, I just didn't want to have that. I wanted to get a ski that I could have every season. I know, okay, this is going to be the right flex, this is the right swing weight, this is the right torsion, all of these things, so that I could just keep skiing instead of learning how to ski the ski a little bit at the start of the winter, and then maybe it doesn't fit me.
And I also thought, like, when you were going through this process, you made a good point, which was like the manufacturers out of Europe, like they'll have specific testers that they use year in and year out that might be ex-World Cup racers, or maybe just like top level instructors or friends of the, you know, the manufacturers, let's say, from the kind of local regions. And the way that they test and how they want a ski to feel, it might be completely different to what you or I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with every company. They have different flexes because their testers obviously decide whatever the flex is. And the good thing about Original is that it's not based on what I feel is good.
Yeah.
It's based on what the customer thinks is good.
Yeah.
And it's customized exactly around that. So yeah, like our flexes are quite different, but we have pretty much the same ski.
Yeah.
And like Josh's ski is too stiff for me. I don't like it that stiff because I'm 68 kilos and
I'm more like 90 kilos.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a ski boot. Like ski boots have flex ratings, yeah? So not everybody's skiing in the same flex ski boot. Some people like like I know actually big guys who like a 130 flex, and some, like I'm in a 150-60 flex. I do like a slightly stiffer boot, but the head boots that I'm in are actually quite soft for this. So like compared to some other companies, it might be 130. But I feel like skis are a lot like ski boots in that sense, is that you have to match how you ski with the stiffness, the torsion, the weight. Those are the 3 things that really make a big difference in how a ski feels with someone's personal morphology or biometrics.
Absolutely. Let's go get into it, huh?
Let's do it.
So we've taken a few laps now on Main Street, pretty much, well, we've only skied Main Street. Yeah. How are you finding the surface that we've got to kind of like test our skis on today?
Well, it's actually an awesome surface for carving. They've got the Swiss national team up here training GS, so they've prepared the slope quite nice and it's very firm. First run was quite firm, and when they open it to the public, a lot of people have been skidding over the firmness, so I was kind of pushed up a little bit of sugar, but it's actually quite good for carving. Very hard, aggressive, yeah, really nice.
This 179 17 meter on the surface that we have, like, it feels really stable, it feels really good in the flex rating I have. Like, how you find in your one with the plate, because you've got a different plate, right? You've got more, I've got like an adjustable plate.
The rail binding, the demo binding. I have the demo binding, one so that guests can try my skis when I think that they're at a similar type of weight or whatever, and I think it would help them. And then the other reason is I ski this ski everywhere. I have it for skiing moguls, I have it for skiing a little bit of powder in Japan, short turns, long turns. Like, if I was going to get just an ice carving ski, I would probably maybe go one stiffness up with a plate. But because I ski moguls a lot and I ski like off-piste variable conditions a lot, just having that type of ski to ski in that terrain is not very optimal. So like, I've chosen to have a slightly softer flex than I would just for pure carving, like just if I was just going to go out and carve on hard snow, just for the fact that it's just a much more versatile flex. So I just have to know its limitations. The limitations are on really hard ice, because I don't have that plate, and also it's a one flex down from where I'd optimally be for just hard ice, that on really, really solid snow it might not hold as well.
How did you get to the ski that you have now?
Well, yeah, basically the testing I've done, I've tested the 175 just to keep that consistent, but taking up like about 10 different flexes and just skiing them on the same snow and just seeing how they react. That's how I first was doing, because I was very interested, one for myself but also for guests. What differences does each flex make for my weight? And then I can see like traits that maybe my students have that might be too soft or might be too stiff for them, a ski that I see them skiing on, that I might be able to recommend, hey, maybe we should get on a softer ski, or maybe let's try a stiffer ski, or whatever it is. So that was basically out of my interest. I tested a lot of skis for that reason. And basically I chose a ski from doing all these tests that is a bit of an all-rounder. So my ski has a demo binding on it actually, but that's so that I can give it to guests so they can try. But the other reason is I ski a lot of off-piste, a lot of variable conditions, a lot of moguls in Japan, and having a plate for my weight, I'm 68 kilos, this was just a little bit too much for some of the types of teaching I'm doing. But if I was going to get a ski just for carving ice, like if I was just going to ski Europe and just ski hard snow all the time, then I would go with maybe one stiffness up and put a race plate on it just to stiffen up the torsion underfoot. And because my ski is on the really, really hard ice with the flex that I have is a 300 flex, and the demo binding, when it gets super hard, then that's where it's just not quite stiff enough to deal with that.
And do you feel like when you say it's not quite stiff enough, do you feel that under the foot, or do you feel that in the tail, the tip?
Yeah, like, I think for me it's probably more of a plate thing.
Okay.
It's more underfoot. Because like when you let that ski bend that bit extra, it does take away a little bit of grip. So having that plate through the under part of the foot
makes a difference.
Yeah, makes a difference. Yeah, like 20 newtons.
Yeah, 20. Because the ski I'm on, it's got the split plate from Tyrolia. And that, what would you say? That adds about like a 20.
Yeah, about 20 newtons.
20 points. So mine's a 380 flex Newton measurement, and so adding on the plate and the binding I have puts it to around 400. Like the thing that if I reflect on how I got there to this ski that I have now, like I tested a bunch of original plus skis in the spring of last Northern Hemisphere winter out in Italy. I had a really soft 175, I had a really stiff 171, and I had a GS ski that was it was the 181 21 meter that they used.
The old model. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah, they don't make. But that was the stiffest ski I could use. The other two were there was a soft and a medium, and I felt like the two that the 175 and the 171 definitely were too soft for me. Like I could feel it when I was moving into the turn. Like I would just feel the thing. Like I would be like, oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna almost snap it. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't kind of give me the energy back. And so like based off the rating of the GS ski, which still was a little bit soft, I arrived at the 380 plus the split plate. And like if I reflect on how it's felt today, like carving down Main Street has been lovely, like really lovely. And I tuned it last night, the ski, to be really like sharp and grippy, because I honestly I wasn't sure what kind of snow we'd have.
Yeah.
I mean, the conditions today, like we mentioned earlier, like they're a lot better than
yeah, this is the best day of the season by a long way.
For carving, yeah.
For
like
carving,
the surface has been lovely this morning, and so I tuned it a lot for carving. So it's felt super stable, really snappy. Like the movements I'm making to get the ski to kind of manipulate the shape that I want and the output I want, like I'm getting it. I'm feeling maybe a little bit of in the short turn on this hard ice, like it's just almost maybe even like a touch too stiff, like I'm getting a bit of judder out of the ski. Like it's not like I'm putting it on, it wants to lock, but I want it to steer.
Yeah.
And it's maybe having a bit of a conflict there. But
I think that for me, like same thing on this hard snow, because I tuned my ski quite sharp last night because I didn't know either, and I thought maybe we do some carving if the snow's good. The Swiss have been up here, they keep on preparing the slope better and better each day, because it has been getting progressively better each day.
It definitely has.
And I was thinking, oh, if it gets quite hard with how my skis have been this week, they've been quite blunt. So I was like, all right, let's get it sharp. And yeah, sometimes it's just too sharp for steering. So for me, doing the short turns at the moment, it's more of a product of the sharpness of the ski. It's like just super aggressive, and when it's really hard snow like this, it just like when it's super sharp, it just hooks in real quick, and it's just a little bit, I would detune it a little bit if I wanted to do some more steering stuff. But that to me is not necessarily a ski thing, that's more of a tune thing for what I'm feeling today.
We're both full-time instructors and trainers at the Rookie Academy, and also you with the Kaido Collective in Japan and me now in Canada. So it's like we need a ski that can do
everything,
more than one thing. If we were both carving, we'd have only carving, we'd both have stiffer skis than we have on today.
But only carving on ice.
On hard snow.
Because like this is on any snow except for like pure ice is all good, but it's like sometimes when I'm in Cortina, if it gets super firm and on the really steep stuff, that's where I change skis onto a slightly stiffer one. I go into my GS ski, which has the plate on it, and then it's just got that plate underfoot, you can feel it, locks on. Skiing injected snow, it's all good. But yeah, my flex with the that binding, I get it because I want to be able to ski all snow conditions at a high level, instead of just carving at the highest level and not being able to do moguls and short turns and struggling.
You kind of build a ski to match the image or the like vision of what you want your skiing to be, you know? And so I think that's why, like, I've super enjoyed the testing process. I'm loving the 6X that I have here, and like it's been overall like it's really been a fun morning, and putting the skis through their paces. I feel like my ones particular, they held up super well. Yeah,
mine too. Actually, considering like when I felt the snow this morning, I was like, well, this is starting to get into that like hardness zone where my flex doesn't, or more so the plate or lack of plate on my ski starts, holding me up a little bit, but I didn't have any problem today. Actually, I was like, oh, it's gripping, no problem. Things probably how sharp I tuned it last night, actually. Get it extra sharp.
The tune makes a massive difference. You've got to find a ski that suits your purpose, like your intention, what it is you're trying to do. And for Reilly and us today with the Mod 6s that we're on, Reilly in the 175 16 meter, me on the 179 17 meter. Flex rating, both of us like slightly softer, just so that it's more versatile, more adaptable. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this Piste It Together episode. I want to just say a massive thank you to you, Reilly, for coming on the channel. Dude, honestly, it's always an inspiration and an absolute pleasure to ski with you.
Thanks for having me on. Likewise. We always have a good time out in the hill.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like I mentioned it earlier, I get all of Reilly's socials will be linked in the description below. If you don't follow him, absolutely subscribe to his channel, follow him on Instagram. You're not going to regret it. The man is an absolute inspiration and legend in our industry. And until the next time, hopefully this episode has helped you all piece it together. See you later, baby.